hundreds of Palestinians turned out for the funeral of Sayfullah Musalat on Sunday. The 20-year-old was born in Florida to parents of Palestinian heritage.
As we head to the location where Saif's body was retrieved, a white vehicle suddenly appears behind us.
We have a group of settlers who are now following us in their vehicle. They've put their masks on as well, which is a concerning indication.
At an intersection, the settlers get out and try to pelt our vehicle.
You know, every once in a while we come across a story that makes me understand the value of the Second Amendment, and this would be one of them, because Israeli settlers have been raining terror on Palestinians and in some cases even killing American citizens in the West Bank with impunity. And they're so emboldened that now they're attacking American press that's reporting out of the area. So while reporting on the brutal killing of an American citizen in the West Bank, CNN journalist Jeremy Diamond and his team were actually attacked by Israeli settlers. And it's yet another example of the impunity that these settlers get to enjoy, because oftentimes they are provided cover by either the IDF or the Israeli government. Now, as we talked about yesterday, Saif Musalat, a 20-year-old American from Florida, was beaten to death by settlers while visiting relatives in the occupied West Bank. And according to the family, a group of settlers blocked an ambulance from reaching him for about 3 hours.
Because they're religious fundamentalists.
No.
They're lunatics.
They're terrorists. Call them what they are. They are terrorists. As many as 5 Americans have been killed in the West Bank since October 7th. And our government hasn't done anything about it. Nothing. They keep sending our taxpayer dollars to Israel. They keep sending bombs to Israel. I mean, we keep doing whatever Israel wants, but Israel provides cover for these settlers who have killed American citizens. How are we okay with this?
Okay, guys, think about a different country. So imagine Syria had killed 5 different American citizens in 5 different incidents, right? Or China had killed 5 different Americans in 5 different incidents. And they say, yeah, we beat your Americans to death. So what? What are you gonna do about it?
And prevented an ambulance from reaching them.
Yeah, and we made sure they bled to death after we beat them within an inch of their life, and we wouldn't let the ambulances in. So what? What are you gonna do about it, right? Do you think America would be like, oh, no, we're good. Okay, I'm so sorry, China. Oh, here's $30 billion. Remember, since October 7th, we've given them not just the $4 billion a year, but on top of that, we're sneaking in $500 million into the Pentagon budget that Marjorie Taylor Greene tried to take out the other day. And we've given them $30 billion extra for the genocide. Oh, you guys are slaughtering innocent Palestinians. Oh, and you're murdering Americans too. Here's our gift to you, $30 billion. Imagine China kills 5 Americans and we give them $30 billion. It is inconceivable. If you say that AIPAC doesn't run Washington, you're a moron, okay? Yeah. So like in mainstream media, look, Jeremy Diamond, we've given a lot of credit to. Trey Yingst, we've given a lot of credit to. He's on Fox News. Those 2 have been super brave, doing great reporting. When we see great reporting, we love it and we give credit where credit is due. The rest of mainstream media is a joke.
Totally, like
you don't notice that these guys are murdering Americans and we're giving them money to do it? You don't notice that the lunatic terrorist settlers keep murdering Palestinians for no reason in the West Bank? Having nothing to do with Gaza. You didn't notice that Gaza is leveled, that they've destroyed all of Gaza and they're trying to move them out, and you're still equivocating and people calling people anti-Semites? You monsters.
Like I've said before, I'll say it, call me an anti-Semite, I don't care, okay? Those are our people. Those are Americans who are getting killed by these emboldened terrorists, okay? That enjoy the euphemism of Israeli settlers. No, they're terrorists. Okay, yes, they're religious fundamentalists, they're terrorists, and they are provided cover by the Israeli government. So what does that say about the Israeli government, which we're funding, we're supporting, and we're sending bombs to? Absolutely disgusting. By the way, let's not forget the fact that after October 7th, I can't remember if it was Ben Gvir or Smotrich, but there were images and videos of them passing out assault weapons to settlers, to these terrorists, to further terrorize Palestinians in the West Bank.
So when this happened relatively early on in the conflict, I remember I had a debate/discussion. It was a number of hosts. I can't remember what show it was. And one of the hosts, he was a pretty gentle debate. He seemed like a good guy, but he said, you know, I grew up in the settlements. My parents are settlers. Are you saying all settlers
are terrorists?
Are wrong? And I'm like,
yes,
yeah, of course
terrorists.
I am, right?
That's what they
because the settlers, the whole point of the settlers is let's go steal Arab land.
100%.
Because our God told us 3,000 years ago, we think.
It was promised to us.
It was promised to us because we're the chosen people. If Arabs said that or Muslims said that, no. Allah promised it to us. That's why we're murdering you and taking your land. Everyone would call them what? Terrorists, right? So I said, yeah, brother, I'm sorry, but that's right. And I said, so what was the ideology you grew up with? And then he admitted, yeah, we were taught to hate the Arabs and that it was our land. And by the way, what's the Israeli propaganda? Oh, we can't let the Palestinians have a state. They were taught to hate us.
By you guys, by the way.
Yeah, but because you're occupying them.
Yeah, I know.
You're putting them in concentration camps, okay? But meanwhile, they're taught to hate Arabs to steal their land.
Exactly.
God damn it, man. They should get nothing. Jesus, wake up, America.
So a second man, I should note, who wasn't an American citizen, was also killed by this attack. Mohammed al-Shalabi, 23-year-old, was killed in the same incident. So Jeremy Diamond from CNN, and to your point about media, Cenk, you're right overall. I think the media has been terrified to cover what's happening in the Middle East accurately, with a few exceptions. And I want to give Jeremy Diamond in particular credit because he's done really great reports, on the ground, and this is a good example. Now, Diamond and his team were in the West Bank to cover this story about the American citizen getting slaughtered by these Israeli settlers. And instead, they ended up becoming targets of the same terrorists that we're talking about here. So let's go to the next video and you'll get a sense of what I'm talking about.
But we managed to approach a nearby Israeli border police vehicle and the settlers turn around.
He got out of the car with the gun or something?
No, he's trying to get rocks. Shoot.
Everyone okay?
Yeah, shoot.
Go, drive, keep driving.
The masked men smashed the rear windshield of our car, but we managed to speed off unharmed.
No. They
turned.
It is just a small window into the reality here.
If it would have took us 5 more seconds, we all would have been beaten with
You
these
think they would
sticks.
have beaten us?
Yes, sir.
But your son was also killed.
In January 2024. By a settler, simply just being there barbecuing.
Israeli police tell us that they have opened an investigation into the attack on our team, and they say that they, quote, take such matters extremely seriously. We will be monitoring to see what the outcome of that investigation is, because Issa, as you know, there has been enormous levels of impunity for these Israeli settlers in the West Bank.
I just want to refer back to the comment I made about the Second Amendment and the importance.
No. Palestinians are not allowed to defend themselves.
They're not allowed to defend themselves.
No, only the Israelis can defend themselves by starting wars and by occupying other people's land and by stealing it. That's how they defend themselves. But God forbid, if you try to defend yourself and against an Israeli occupation, you'll get smeared as terrorists from here to eternity by the liars in American media and all of Western media that'll say, how dare the Palestinians resist the Israeli occupation? They should know that the Israelis are the chosen people and they should surrender to them. They're lowly Muslims and they're supposed to be beaten to death. And if they protest, terrorists. And if you're anti-Semite, F the media. All of American media that has been perpetuating these viciously racist and bigoted lies against Palestinians, Arabs, and Muslims my whole life. All of you guys are guilty while you chase around mythical anti-Semitism. Oh, they criticize Israel, anti-Semite. Oh my God, they said something about anti-Semite. Well, they're protesting for peace, anti-Semite. While you go do that over and over again, there's massive bigotry against Muslims. The murder of Muslim children over and over. Do you know, it's every time this goddamn media, do you denounce Hamas? Denounce anyone fighting back against Israel, right? Okay, fine, we denounce them, they do something terrible. You know how many people they killed? Civilians they killed on October 7th? 815. That's a big number, that's terrible. You know how many children under the age of 1 babies Israel has killed since October 7th? 870. More than all the civilians Hamas killed. So if Hamas are the worst terrorists, what does that make Israel? The murderer of babies. Oh, no, you can't say that. Anti-Semite, 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 right? No, I don't care. I don't care what you call me. Stop murdering babies.
Stop murdering innocent people.
All of these innocent
Stop
people. You killed a stadium full of children, 17,000 children.
Yep.
Everybody says they care about the children, unless it's Palestinian children, in which case, anti-Semite, anti-Semite. You don't care about bigotry. You are bigotry, American media. You are all bigots. With the exception of wonderful people like Jeremy Diamond and Trey Yingst.
Yep. By the way, Jeremy Diamond looking real good. Get it, boy. Keep getting it. All right, just adding a little bit of lightness to this terrible story. But of course, the foreign press has weighed in on this, essentially condemning what has happened to Jeremy Diamond and CNN in this attack. By the way, he posted a photo of the shattered back window of the vehicle that they were in, and of course, it was shattered by these terrorists. Now, Jeremy Diamond reported that the American who was just killed by Israeli settlers / terrorists, Saif, his father has come out to share his thoughts and demand justice for his son. Now, do I think that there will be justice for his son? Well, given the 4 other Americans who have been killed in a similar way in the West Bank, no, I don't think that there's gonna be justice. That's unfortunately the situation we're dealing with. But let's hear what he has to say here.
We want justice.
His father, Kamel, was home in Florida, where he runs an ice cream shop with his son, when he got the call that Saif had been attacked by settlers.
You never think that it's your son or anything like that who is this happening to. And then I got word that it was my son. He was hit, he was beaten, he lost conscience, but nobody could get to him. Ambulance couldn't come in. Why? Because the IDF restricted that. The IDF blocked that.
So you hold the Israeli military?
I hold the Israeli military just as responsible as the settlers and the American government for not doing anything about this.
The State Department said it is aware of Saif's death, but declined to comment further on calls for an investigation.
So far, there's only been one American official who has weighed in on what happened to Saif, and that's, unfortunately, a pretty disgusting individual, Ambassador Mike Huckabee, who says that he's asked Israel to aggressively investigate this.
Oh, I'm sure they're right on it. They're working around the clock on it. You know how many settlers have been held accountable, or IDF soldiers held accountable for those American deaths in the West Bank? 0. They're never held accountable because they're like, oh, who cares? We control America. So we can murder their citizens anytime we like.
Guys, the IDF literally fired shots at a group of international diplomats as they were visiting Jenin. Israel said they are going to investigate it. What happened to that investigation?
What happened to the investigation of every hospital and school that they destroyed? Do you know that right now they're going through Gaza, and not only are they bombing all the buildings, but they're bulldozing them. They're bulldozing all of them. Well, what does bulldozing a home have anything to do with finding Hamas?
It's Hamas's fault.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure. They use the home as a shield, blah, 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 blah. Okay, I'm so sick of my money being robbed from me by the American government, by the sick American politicians, robbed from me to go pay for the slaughter of those innocent children by a terrorist government of Israel. Yep. You call me anything you like, but I fight genocides, okay? I fight it if it's happening to Jews. I fight it if it's happening to Palestinians. I fight it no matter who it's happening to. And if you're not fighting against this genocide, you're sick. There's something wrong with you. And you're a bigot and you're a racist, okay? So go ahead. Every time somebody calls anybody fighting against this genocide an anti-Semite, I'm gonna call them a racist 1,000 times over. Because they don't give a damn about any life but precious, precious Israeli lives. Oh, those settlers, poor little terrorists, murdering anyone they like. No, I don't give a goddamn about them. Stop sending our money for this murder and slaughter and genocide. Stop sending our money. Israel is literally robbing us. They're robbing us. They robbed you. Every time you go to work, Israel takes a portion of it. Why are we under an obligation to give over $300 billion?
Because we might have pedophiles running the government.
Yeah, even if that government was saintly, like Norway's a perfectly lovely government. We haven't given them $300 billion because we don't owe them. But we give Israel over $300 billion and they still say, you owe us. No, we don't owe you a goddamn thing. And after this genocide, the world doesn't owe you a single thing, okay? Nothing. You've used up all of your goodwill. It's gone. You are now no longer the victim. You are the villain. You are a worldwide villain, the latest to commit a genocide. And all of you are going to go to a museum, and God help you, Netanyahu, if there's ever an honest American leader. Because then we're going to pull your protection, and I can't wait to see you in the effing Hague. And Ben Gvir and Smotrich, if those guys are not getting Nuremberg trialed, then we failed as a society. Every time you ring the bell below, an angel gets his wings. Totally not true, but it does keep you updated on our live shows. Every time you ring the bell below, an angel gets his wings. Totally not true, but it does keep you updated on our live shows.